Hello and welcome to Sports Update on Nigeria Live TV. My name is Yakie and I have a lot of stories to bring to you today. We have to begin on the home front where in Bayelsa State in Kayama we will be seeing games played in the Isaac Boro Teen Soccer Tournament. So the Isaac Boro Teen Soccer Tournament is being organized or sponsored by Engineer Gabriel Appa, who runs the Gabi Appa Foundation. And I always give credits to those people that are promoting grassroots football. But for this tournament is actually an under 15 tournament, so the kids are actually very young. We're going to be seeing some fixtures played in the round of 16 knockout format, of course, and all games are scheduled at the Maracana Stadium in Kayama. So on the 3rd of May, that's on Sunday, we will see Citizens FA of Azikoro take on Sampo FC of Sampo. So an Azikiro's based team are actually going to be competing in this tournament as well. They will be playing on Sunday, May 3 at the Maracana Stadium in Kayama. And then on 1st of May, that's today, Friday, by 3:30 p.m., we'll see one game. That's Jeb's International Secondary School of Brass take on California FC of OD. And then we'll see one game again. We'll also see Golden Stars of Okoloba take on Ninja Blazers of Kayama, and of course Adaka Boys FC of Kayama will take on City Kings FC of Port Harcourt. The both games scheduled for Saturday, 2nd May. That's tomorrow. But of course, like I said, you have to give credit to Gabriel Appa for what he's been doing, because he really doesn't get anything in return for this, and he's also giving the young boys an opportunity to express themselves. So good job to Engineer Gabriel Appa and the Gabi Foundation. And you have to give credit to the organizers, because when you look at the kids, when you say in Nigeria we have this should I say a bad habit of having overage players. But if you look at the kids that compete in the tournament, you'll see that they are really young indeed. So I believe they are actually under 15 players. So you have to catch them young. But let's talk NPFL games as well, because we will be seeing games played in the NPFL. Of course, for games played to be played tomorrow, we'll see. Okay, all games are scheduled for Sunday, May 3, and we'll see one game on Tuesday. But for games to be played on Sunday, we'll see Bara FC take on El Kanemi Warriors, while Niger Tornadoes host Kwara United. For Remo Stars, they take on Eyimba. For Bayelsa United, they will be taking on Rangers International, while Benel Insurance take on Katsina United. Rivers United, that's pushing for the title, will be facing Abia Warriors. Con Califat FC will take on Kano Pillars, while Plateau United will travel to Warri to face Warri Wolves, while the last game will see Shooting Stars take on Nasarawa United. All games scheduled for 4 p.m. on Sunday. By the other game, the last game will see Ikorodu City take on Wiki Tourists. That game scheduled for Tuesday, May 5, 2026, of course. And then for Bayelsa United, I think we have to talk about Bayelsa United, because it's really looking very, very desperate for them at this point, because they are sitting 19th on the log with 40 points. So they are currently 3 points from safety. A win against Enugu Rangers will be massive for them, because it will push them level on points with Remo Stars, of course, depending on the outcome of other games. But for Rangers International, they definitely wouldn't be coming to the Samson Siasia Stadium to just come and sit back. They are also pushing for the NPFL title, so they'll be coming all out. While for Rivers United, playing against Abia Warriors, that's another very important game for Rivers United, and it's going to be very tough. But they're going to be playing at home at the Adokia Miesi Maka Stadium, so that's the advantage in that encounter. But anytime, any day, Abia Warriors are actually going to be a tough nut for them to crack. But I think we have to move on from the NPFL. Let's talk English football. Okay, let's go to Europe first. Let's talk about the Europa League, because we saw games played in the Europa League and Conference League yesterday. For the games that were played yesterday, we did see Nottingham Forest defeating Aston Villa at the Villa Park. It ended 1-0. So Nottingham Forest have an advantage ahead of the second leg. And of course, we also saw other games there, but for want of time, I think we just have to breeze through at this point. But for Crystal Palace also, they got a win against Shakhtar Donetsk. They played 3-1, because there's no real big teams in the in the conference league and the Europa League. So a lot of, should I say, a lot of attention is not really there this season. Hopefully, when maybe the big names, maybe Chelsea FC, should they secure qualification to the Conference League or the Europa League, I think we have to talk more about them. But let's talk English football. We will be seeing games played in the English Premier League over the weekend. But one game is scheduled for today. We'll see Leeds United take on Burnley. It's going to be interesting. Burnley already relegated. They did part ways with Scott Parker, and their new interim manager hopefully would want to at least ensure that they get some wins to make the fans happy while they're heading for the championship. But Leeds United, of course, not a pushover, coming on the back of that defeat to Chelsea in the FA Cup semi-final. They would want to at least get back to winning ways. And other games we will see in the English Premier League for Saturday, we will see 4 games. For Brentford, they open the day with when they take on West Ham United, while Newcastle United will take on Brighton Hove Albion. For Sunderland, they will travel to face Wolverhampton Wanderers, while Arsenal will take on Fulham. For Arsenal, the biggest game of for Saturday is definitely the game between Arsenal and Fulham. For Arsenal, they will be looking to at least extend the points difference between them and Man City to 6 points before Man City plays on Sunday. For games to be played on Sunday, we'll see AFC Bournemouth take on Crystal Palace. For Manchester United, they take on Liverpool FC. And for Aston Villa, they take on Tottenham Hotspur. Manchester City will actually be playing on Monday, I beg your pardon. For games to be played on Monday, Chelsea FC will take on Nottingham Forest, while Everton will take on Manchester City at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. So it's going to be very tough for Manchester City. A lot of people have talked about the title race, and you want to say, some people have said Arsenal will draw points, and some also say Manchester City will draw points. And if there's any game where they would draw points, I believe it could be against Everton, because Everton, especially at home, of course they are still trying to adjust to life at the Hill Dickinson Stadium, but Everton, anytime, any day, they are one of the giant killers. They come and spoil things for you when you're really looking for progress. But for Arsenal, it's still not going to be easy, them taking on Fulham. The advantage, of course, in this encounter is the fact that they are playing at the Emirates Stadium. And for Arsenal and Fulham, is always a derby match. Of course, both sides are London-based teams, so Fulham would definitely be coming to spoil the party and to make things really difficult for Mikel Arteta's side. But Arsenal, on the back of their win against Atletico Madrid, would have at least a lot of confidence that they will be trying to, at least they will want to get the job done. But for Arsenal fans, I think the question would be, should they focus on the Premier League at this point, or should they still pushing for the UEFA Champions League? Because they have an opportunity to at least to get to the final. They got a 1-0 draw at the Wanda Metropolitano, and now they have to play Atletico Madrid at the Emirates. So it's almost like fighting on two fronts at this point. They were trying to get the quadruple, but it's now down to the double. So I think you have to comment in this, drop your comments in the comment section if Arsenal should just push for just one title, or they should keep going on all fronts, because maybe you don't even know where they will get the win. But let's talk about the other fixtures. For Liverpool FC, they are going to be taking on Manchester United. That's a very big fixture. Of course, if you look at the pedigree of the two teams, these are the most successful teams in England. Of course, they are not doing really well this season. But for these two teams, they are actually seeking to secure qualification to the Champions League. And for Manchester United, they require just 2 points to secure qualification to the UEFA Champions League next season. They currently are 11 points above Brighton, that's on 6th position on the log. So 2 draws will secure qualification for them. But they just need, if they win against Liverpool, to secure qualification for them automatically, of course. And for Liverpool, should they win United, they would actually get above them. So there's a lot to play for in that encounter. Of course, I'm a Liverpool fan, but right now I have to be realistic. Based on the form, I think there's a little bit of stability with Liverpool at this point. But with Arne Slot in charge, and of course Manchester United under Michael Carrick, they've been incredible. Bruno Fernandes, of course, has been breaking a lot of records. So I know it's going to be very tough for Liverpool to beat Manchester United. If you had someone had told me maybe last season that Liverpool would be struggling to beat United, I wouldn't believe it, because Man United got the win at Anfield 2-1. It ended that encounter, and this time around United still will be hoping to at least get the double against their bitter rivals Liverpool FC. But let's move on. I think we have to talk tennis. We'll still come back to football, where we conclude with games to be played in the Italian Serie A and Spanish La Liga and what have you. But let's talk tennis before we come back to football. For tennis, you have to give congratulations to Yannick Sinner. He's now in the semi-final of the Madrid Open. He did overcome Rafa Jorda 6-2, 7-6 yesterday in the quarterfinal. So for Yannick Sinner, he's now one in six people to since 1992 have made it to the semi-final of ATP 1000 events for 9 consecutive times. So big record from Yannick Sinner, and of course it's really hard to see anyone stopping him, because the other semi-final encounter we will see Alexander Blocks take on Alexander Zverev. So we're going to be seeing who is the greatest Alexander in this affair. But for Yannick Sinner, he's going to be facing Rafa. He's going to be facing Otto Fields, the 21st seed in this tournament. He's going to be facing Otto Fields today in the semi-finals. But I really do fancy Yannick Sinner to get past Otto Fields. But let's talk about the WTA, where for Amanda Anisimova, she actually came out on top in her encounter as well. She did overcome her American counterparts. She overcame her American counterparts, and she'll be facing Matia Kostyuk. She overcame Hailey Baptiste in the semi-final yesterday. It ended 6-4, 7-6 in favor of Mira Andreeva. She gave herself a birthday present there, because she just celebrated her birthday. I think it was on the 29th of April or so. But she's going to face a little bit difficult task when she faces Matia Kostyuk, who overcame Anastasia Potapova. It ended 6-2, 1-6, 6-1 in favor of Matia Kostyuk. So the final is scheduled for May 2. That's on Saturday, tomorrow. So it's going to be interesting seeing who comes out on top. For Mira Andreeva, she's actually the 9th seed, the highest rated player in this tournament. So far, at least, because the big names have already exited. And for Matia Kostyuk, she's the 26th seed. So it's going to be all to play for. But let's come back to football, where I'll have to give to you the fixtures we will be seeing in other leagues. But for want of time, I'm only going to reel out the most important fixtures. For games to be played today, in the Italian Serie A, we'll see Pisa take on Lecce, and we'll see Girona take on Mallorca. These are games to be played in the Serie A and the Spanish La Liga for today. For tomorrow, for want of time, I'm only going to reel out the most important ones. For PSG, they take on Lorient. PSG are trying to clinch the French League on title, but Lens is still chasing behind. For Lens, they will be taking on Nice. They are away in this encounter, and they want to at least close the distance. For Paris Saint-Germain, of course, they have one eyes in Munich, when they will be taking on Bayern Munich in the second leg. I'm talking about Bayern Munich. They will be taking on Heidenheim in the Bundesliga today. And in the Serie A, Italian Serie A, of course, Bayern Munich has already clinched the German Bundesliga title, so they can essentially lose in that encounter, and there will be no issue. They just have to focus on their next encounter against Paris Saint-Germain. They can rest their players. So it's a warning for those people that play the white paper. So you have to be cautious when you're playing Bayern Munich this time around. And in the Italian Serie A, we'll see 3 games tomorrow. We'll see Atalanta take on Genoa by 8:45, but earlier by 2 p.m. we'll see Udinese take on Torino, and for Como FC, they take on Napoli. Of course, that's a big game, because for both teams, they are looking to secure qualification to the UEFA Champions League. Napoli, they were chasing for the title, but they've really fallen off, and it's really hard seeing any team catching up with Inter Milan. The other games we will be seeing on Saturday, we'll see in the Spanish La Liga, we'll see FC Barcelona take on Osasuna, while Atletico Madrid will take on Valencia. Of course, Atletico also have one eye in that second leg encounter against Arsenal. And for Barcelona against Osasuna, I think Barca needs about 3 or 4 points before they secure the La Liga title, because it's really difficult for them to both lose at this point. So pretty much it's Barcelona's trophy. But I believe they have an opportunity to almost win it when they take on Osasuna today. But on Sunday, we'll also see games being played in the Spanish La Liga. For Real Madrid, they'll be taking on Espanyol. Should Real Madrid lose, and maybe you talk about Espanyol now, they have this connection with Barcelona, because they are both teams are actually from Barcelona. So maybe brother help brother. Espanyol, Barcelona will be hoping for Espanyol to maybe do them the favor of beating Real Madrid, so they will be celebrating their title win earlier. But in the Italian Serie A on Sunday, we'll see Juventus take on Verona, while Inter Milan will take on Parma. For AC Milan, they will be traveling to face Sassuolo. But I think this is where we have to draw the curtains on the program. Thank you so much for being a part of this I really do hope you have a wonderful weekend, and of course, happy New Month, happy Workers' Day. Hope you have a good one.